peace is a core element in the Montessori philosophy, not only in December, but all year long. But how is peace incorporated into math? Here to explain is Shannon Alford. She's the Director of Admissions here at SPMA. Shannon, it's an exciting time for you all. You're going to be represented at the Montessori Model United Nations this April. Tell us what that is.
Basically, it's a forum where students from other Montessori schools all around the world, there will be students from China, Jordan, Sweden, Mexico, and Canada that will be representing other countries, and they will be creating draft resolutions based on the conflicts that are occurring in those countries.
So they're meeting at the United Nations.
The real United Nations floor.
And they are all representing different countries and really being the advocates for those countries and bringing to light the challenges and problems that these countries are facing and coming up with solutions.
And if they're passed, they very well they will be given to the Secretary General and then may be considered to give to the ambassador of those, the working ambassador of those countries.
How exciting is that? Phillip Evans is one of the students here at SPMA that will actually be heading to the United Nations this spring. He's going to tell us what his role will be when he is at the Montessori Model United Nations.
This year I am going to be going to the Montessori Model United Nations, where I am going to be trying to prevent conflict minerals and war between the African nations. I'm going to be doing this by writing a draft resolution.
So Shannon, how does math play a role in what Phillip is going to be doing?
Well, it plays a big role, but there's also many other factors that are involved in him going to the Montessori Model United Nations. But we are really focusing on math because of all the work that he did from primary through upper elementary is really an indirect preparation for this event.
And it's a practical application utilizing the studies here to help on a global level, which is really, really cool. So he's going to give us an example of some of the different math activities that he's experienced from primary through upper elementary, correct?
That's right.
Phillip, take it away.
This is the Montessori primary math, which is mostly sorting of colored figures. Usually you'll have a box of 4 colored figures, and you will just sort them according to color. Put your yellows, blues, your greens, and your reds. At the age of 3, you might not know it, but this will lead into your fraction studies in lower elementary. In the beginning of lower elementary, you begin your studies of fractions. You use the Skittles to help visualize how there are multiple parts in one whole, like this, the 1/3. As you progress through your studies of fractions, you will then move on to the metal insets. In the beginning of upper elementary, you start out with decimals with this yellow decimal board. But before the decimal board, you get a lesson called the decimal smash. This is where I will turn this 1 unit into 10 tenths. And there you can see, it is 10 tenths. The decimal board is used for adding and subtracting decimals. You will have your number cards, your decimal discs, and your beads that represent numbers above 0. You will have your number cards and lay out the discs below them. Take away the number cards, push down your discs, add them all together, and that will get you the answer to your problem. After your decimals, you will go into percentages, which you use the metal insets and a Montessori protractor, and you will place the metal inset. In this case, I have a 1/3 into the Montessori protractor, and it will show you how 1/3 is equal to 33%. Once you have completed your studies of percentages, you will then move on to ratios and proportions. In ratios and proportions, you will study statistics. And with your knowledge of statistics, it will be very helpful in your Montessori Model United Nations.
So here Phillip is giving us some great examples of how these concrete materials are really helping him to lay the foundation for a deeper understanding in his math studies, and he's doing some great things.
He's doing the cube root of a 10-digit number with just a pencil and paper, but it's not just Phillip, it's other students in upper elementary. They're doing pre-algebra, they're doing statistics, and they're doing a lot of abstract math work. And they're not using any materials, but it did provide a great deep understanding in the earlier years at Montessori.
And it's all part of the SPMA curriculum here. You have a special event coming up in the beginning of January. We want you to mark your calendars. What's happening here?
January 7th and 8th, we will be hosting a silent journey and discovery where we are opening our doors to the public and also other professionals to come and see what goes on in the classroom. Once again, it's January 7th from 7 to 9 p.m. and then returning in the morning on January 8th from 9 to 11 a.m.
That's exciting stuff. We look forward to seeing you next month, and we will be taking a break here on Low Country Child. When we come back, a fun holiday activity with Chef David over at Roastfish and Cornbread, so stay with us.